this video is going to be about what is the conflict between the characters, which is part 4 of question number 1, which is what is the scene about. So if this is your first video and you're just catching on, then make sure you go back and look at the couple of the previous videos, because then you'll understand the context of all of this. And then you can also click on the link below, which is the9questions.com, and you can download the 9 questions and follow along. Okay? So part 4, what is the conflict between the characters? Conflict is the basis of all storytelling. It is essential. It's the most important part of storytelling. Without conflict, we really don't have a lot of story. So think about it. Every single movie has a conflict. If the Joker didn't create conflict for Batman, Batman would have no reason to go save the world. There would be no story. And even if you're not into the superhero movies, even between two lovers, there's always got to be a conflict between these two lovers. It's boy gets girl, boy meets girl, boy loses girl, boy gets girl again. So there has to be a conflict, okay? So, but the problem that I see actors do is that most of the time they overcomplicate what the conflict is in the scene. And so keep it really simple. Great example. Sally wants John to apologize. John doesn't want to apologize. That's simple. And I always kind of use my hands and say, Sally wants John to apologize. John doesn't want to. So it's this between these two characters. And the way I see actors overcomplicate is they say, well, there's a war going on. Well, the war is the problem outside. So this could be Sally and John in a war, but the war is the problem outside of them. And we want this to be between the characters, between Sally and John. It creates a connection. It gives you something to do. And remember, acting is doing. So nearly every scene has a conflict. There are some that don't have a conflict. And that would be an example of that might be John wants Sally to marry him and Sally wants to marry him. Did I say that right? John wants Sally to marry him and she wants to marry him. Okay, let's get that clear. So, and in there is no conflict because she wants to marry him, he wants to marry her. It's all about love. So what we have to do, and in that case, when you get that in a scene, you want to go to question number 3. What is the experience of the scene? Now, I'll get to that in later videos, and like next 2, I think. So make sure you subscribe so you're getting the videos and you can follow along with this. But I'll give you a taste of it right now, okay? So if there's no conflict in the scene, then we've got to have the experience of the scene. And if 2 people are in love and they want to get married, then when we're watching that scene, that experience has to be there. If we're not getting that experience and that feeling of these 2 people who love each other and want to get married, then the scene doesn't work. Just like if there's no conflict in the scene, that scene's not going to work either. So if the Joker wants Batman to either give up or die, and Batman's, not really fighting this conflict, there's no conflict, the scene doesn't work. Okay? So always make sure your conflicts are simple and very, very clear. Just the way I mentioned them. Because remember, in question number 1, you want to be able to look at it like a fly on the wall or from the third person, and you want to be able to see this story on the screen, and you want to be able to clearly say, this is what you see. Sally wants John to apologize. John doesn't want to. So keep your conflicts simple, and if this is helping you, will you please make a comment below and let us know. I want to make sure that these videos are giving you something to make your next take better than your first.